The South Wales Derby is one of the most hotly contested fixtures in the entirety of the EFL, and despite being dominated in recent years by the self-proclaimed capital of Welsh football, this season represented an opportunity for Cardiff to finally set the record straight, a mere 112 years after the fixture's introduction. So, just how did they fail to do so on a weekend where it looked as though none other than a Cardiff City win was possible? And just how damaged is my voice box as a result of the unprecedented outcome? If you want the short answer to that question, then look no further than this man. But if you want the long answer, then also look no further than this man. Just long. Swansea began the campaign with the disastrous appointment of manager Michael Duff, and would go 9 league matches before finally tasting their first league win. This was far below the standard the club expected, as just months prior, they'd signed off the 22-23 campaign, going 10 on the spin undefeated, rising from 18th in the table to just 3 points off the playoffs. It should therefore come as no surprise that Michael Duff's abject reaction and failure to understand the magnitude of Cardiff's 2-0 victory over Swansea last September spelled the end of his time at the club. A feeble effort to get the fans back on side, whereby he stated that he'd prefer to lose to Cardiff twice and then go on to get promoted, was rather quickly shot down, considering Swansea were languishing in the bottom 3. Meaning that relegation from the Championship was looming. It would take until December for fans to finally get their way, with Duff booed off in his last game before finally getting the sack. This would mean the club was still dangerously close to the drop zone. The following month of much improved results under interim coach Alan Sheehan culminated with the appointment of Luke Williams from Notts County, ready to take over as the head coach of Swansea City. Despite the fact that relegation worries had since been eased, Williams began his tenure with thrashings at the hand of the division's top sides, thanks to a very unkind fixture list at the time. However, Williams' previous stint as Swansea's assistant manager meant he had no risk of losing the faith of the fans. Unsurprisingly, results began to turn, along with the signing of star player Brazilian winger Ronaldo. Notable victories against Sunderland, Hull and Blackburn led to just one more game left to be played. While one more win would all but secure Swansea's status in the division for next season, they were set to face their bitter rivals Cardiff City, a team who were looking to make history against the Swans and complete a league double for the first time in 112 years. On a run of 6 undefeated, including a victory against second-placed Ipswich Town, Cardiff City, the playoff outsiders, were touted as comfortable favourites going into this game, with many fans considering the match even to be a write-off. A now infamous statement online suggested that Cardiff fans believed the derby could not come quick enough. Instead, Williams led out an inspired side, backed by a sold-out stadium, looking to avenge the defeat of 6 months prior and ensure that the streak of 4 wins remained a historic talking point across this rivalry. Dominating from the first 30 seconds, in which a deflected shot could very well have ended up being the opening goal of the contest, the home side were on top for the majority of the game, and upon taking the lead in a very uncharacteristic fashion, never looked like throwing it away against their bitter rivals. Instead, yet another stoppage time goal against Cardiff for the Swans came courtesy of Jamal Lowe in the 96th minute, ensuring that while the capital club came for a double, they would leave having been hit for 2 themselves.